just like every year, I think you make your biggest improvement from week 1 to week 2, and especially with a young team like we got, that'll be very important. I think defensively, there's a lot of stuff to build on. There's obviously things that we can get corrected. Offensively, obviously not what we expected. I think we got the right pieces in place. We got some young guys, and we're going to get them better, and we'll coach them better. I think obviously there were some mistakes made, but we can put them in a little bit better position too. I think we need to play a few more guys. Nick Broger in particular, he'll see some playing time this week, but I just think we can get better on that side of the ball in a hurry. Looking forward to coming home. That'll be huge for us to get back home. SEC opener. Arkansas, good football team. Got a lot of respect for Coach Morris. Does a really good job offensively. Coach Chavis, longtime defensive coordinator. They got all veteran front with seniors. Their linebacker Harris has been there forever. 2 really, really good running backs. It'll be a challenge for our defense to get a stop. But very excited to be back home in Baltimore Way and looking forward to the challenge.
All right, Ray, you have a question?
Coach, you mentioned Nick Broger maybe getting a little more playing time. After watching tape, what was kind of your evaluation of the line where you guys can improve?
Yeah, we need to get better. I think it doesn't all fall on the offensive line. There's things you got to be on time, and I mean it all works together. There's some things that we can do better, and I think playing more guys is one of those things.
Matt, now that you looked at the film, did you see what was the biggest difference in your mind in the running game in the second half as opposed to the first?
I think anytime you play offense, you got to stay away from negative plays, whether it be sacks or negative yard gains on first down, which is even more critical because when you lose yardage on first down, it puts you in some 3rd and longs, and those lead to sacks. So I think just staying ahead of the chains and no minus yards plays will be huge for us.
Did y'all attack anything different schematically running the ball?
No, not really. There was a couple of things that we did with some bigger personnel groupings, but basically the same call, just executed a little better.
Man, it appeared, of course, Memphis blitzed almost every play, manned up in the secondary. Didn't seem like our receivers got much separation. Was that just youth or?
Yeah, well, I think it's a combination of several things. Obviously, you got to be able to protect so you can get up and down the field versus press coverage, and you got to separate, and then we got to get the ball out on time to the right place. So I think, again, it's not just. I think people want to always place the blame in one area. It's all about working together, and I think that we will continue to get better. We got a lot of people out there playing in their first game, especially offensively, but they will continue to get better. We'll get them better, and we'll find a way to score points.
Matt, we heard a lot about misdirection, that sort of thing with the offense in camp. Didn't see much of that in the game. Why do
Well,
we?
I just, again, you saw a lot of minus yards on first down, and it kind of prevents you when you're behind schedule. It's hard to get into a rhythm. I think in the second half when we were, on schedule a little bit, you saw a little bit more of it. Misdirection, nakeds on 4th down, all those things. But again, staying ahead of the chains kind of lets you open up the playbook a little bit.
What was the plan for touches for Jerrion Ely? Was that kind of what y'all expected, or did you think you?
Yeah, again, when you don't have many snaps, it's hard to get people touches. So I think you got to get first downs and you get snaps and people get touches.
Matt, it's obviously really early in the season to throw out something like must win or anything, but with this being the SEC opener, after how last week worked, just how important is this Arkansas game for the team looking forward?
Well, it's huge. I think it's important because it's at home. It's an SEC. It's a big game for us. So I think continue to build defensively. Let's go work hard and get some of these young guys playing better offensively. I think schematically put them in some better spots, having a chance to be successful. Some things to get the ball out quickly for Matt. I think we can make a big jump there. But it's obviously a huge game for us.
Questions?
How did you assess Matt's play as far as decision making, yada yada?
Yeah, no, I thought obviously he was he made some really good decisions. He made some poor ones. In your first start, I think that had. I think there's some things we can do to help him. I think the O-line can help him. I think the receivers can help him. I don't think you all put it all on Matt. I think it's coaching, everybody working together, finding a way to get it done. I think we can get the ball out a little bit quicker on some things, and then if we do want to throw it down the field, we got to hold up in protection.
Looking at the defense, what was kind of your initial reaction? What were some of the things that stood out when you went back and watched the film?
I thought we knew what to do. Very rarely was anybody running free. They had their eyes in the right place. They were gap sound. We made them, it wasn't any just huge plays. so I was very, very pleased to see that. You know, for the most part, we tackled well. There was a couple where we didn't wrap up, but I thought we tackled pretty well. We protected our edges. I thought Kadir and Sam did a good job coming off the edge. Luke Knox kind of showed up, and you know, what really showed up to me was our DBs playing the deep balls, knocking balls away, not running with their back to the ball, but actually, you know, making plays on some deep balls. So that was good to see as well.
Matt, I think in the last 4 years, the Arkansas games have been decided by 10 total points. What is it about these two teams that match up so closely against
You know,
one another?
that's a tough one, but again, this will be a 4-quarter game. That's why our fans will be so key in this one for a young team. This is gonna be a 4-quarter battle. We'll have to go win it in the 4th quarter, and it'll be huge that we have a home field advantage.
Is there any benefit to have seen a back like Rakeem Boyd once and maybe go at him a second time?
I wish we didn't. He's a good back. Yeah, I mean, he seems like he's been there for a long time. I just remember, you know, in the game vividly last year, he has the ability to run through you. He can make you miss. He's just a very, very good back. And then, you know, Whaley is really good too. So they got a really good 1-2 punch there that, you know, we'll have our hands full trying to stop.
A little shaky start on some special team stuff. Well, how you clean that up, you think?
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, Jerry and just, you know, nerves right there on the first kickoff return, and everything else was pretty good with the exception of punt coverage. A couple times we had to bring down the punt coverage, but everything else was pretty clean.
Questions?
Did you come out of Saturday healthy?
Yeah, I think, just looking at the, injury report, you got, you know, Braitman is questionable with the hamstring, but other than that, came out pretty healthy.
I know this day and age, you play a lot of teams with multiple quarterbacks. Did you, looking at their film, is there a big difference between Hicks and Starkville and how you prepare for them?
You know what, I think Hicks is I think fits their system, that's why they got him to transfer in there, and, you know, I think he's got a good understanding. Starkville's a big, strong kid with a really, really good arm, so I think you do have to be prepared for both. You saw Starkville a little bit at the end of the first half last week, but Hicks, you know, the rest of the time, so I think you prepare for Hicks, but I think you gotta be aware of Starkville, because I think he's, you know, I think he's a big physical guy that can run, but he's got a good arm too.
Man, the inside linebackers, Lakia Henry seems to have had a good day tackling. He's one of the leading tacklers. Momo just kind of got lost in space there. Comment on how those two guys played.
No, I thought they played well. They showed up, and again, there are some things that we can improve on. Pulling the trigger a little bit faster a couple times, but I thought Lakia showed up around the ball as he had all fall camp, and he did it in the game. And I saw Willie make a couple of nice plays in pass defense there. So again, try to make a huge jump on both sides of the ball, week 1 to week 2, and you know, I think we can make a jump there as well.
What was your assessment of Kadir playing with the club?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's obviously tough to grab on and tackle a couple times. I think on the boundary side, one time, he couldn't wrap up because of it, but other than that, it's good to have him out there. His speed and his power is able to take on the pulling guards and be really physical, so that didn't take away his physicality. It may have shown up a couple times where he couldn't grab on because of the club, but it didn't really affect his play. It was still, you know, really good to have him out there.
Any more questions? One more, Chuck.
Did you turn a couple of plays into the SEC office?
Yes.
Any more questions for Coach?
Follow up on that, I'm curious. Did you get an explanation during the game or after the game about I guess the sack penalty with it said he took him to the ground or whatever? It looked like it was just a natural movement. Did they explain what that was? So it could be a teaching movement?
No, I haven't got one yet. I think if they called anything, it wasn't for being late. It was for potentially driving him into the ground. But no, I haven't got an explanation. There's a standard operating procedure that we follow. We turn them in, and they give us a video review of it.
Take it you disagree with that diagnosis?
Well, I'd like to hear, I'd like to hear the explanation for sure.
Nothing's changed with that rule, has it, as far as driving in the ground? Like, is it enforced differently this year?
Well, I don't think it's enforced differently. It's just it's a judgment call whether it's unnecessary roughness.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.